Do you know who you are? Build unshakable confidence. Napoleon Hill. Powerful self-motivation. This isn't just another motivational video. This is your wake-up call to discover the incredible power that's been hiding inside you all along. Right now, millions of people are walking through life wearing masks, playing roles, and living according to scripts written by others, never truly knowing the magnificent being staring back at them in the mirror. You're tired of feeling uncertain, second-guessing your decisions, and watching opportunities slip by because you don't trust yourself enough to act. Here's the controversial truth that the self-help industry doesn't want you to know. Confidence isn't something you're born with or something you lack. It's a skill you can develop using the exact same principles that created every fortune, every breakthrough, and every life transformation in history. Napoleon Hill spent decades studying the most successful people on earth and discovered that unshakable confidence follows a precise formula, and today you're going to learn every step. By the end of this video, you'll have the blueprint to build the kind of confidence that doesn't crumble under pressure, doesn't depend on others' approval, and grows stronger with every challenge you face. This is your moment to stop being a stranger to yourself and start living as the confident, powerful person you were always meant to be. When someone truly understands who they are, they unlock a power that most people never discover in their entire lifetime. Self-awareness isn't just knowing your favorite color or hobby. It's recognizing the incredible potential that lies dormant within your mind. Napoleon Hill discovered that successful individuals possess an unshakable understanding of their core values, strengths, and purpose. This deep self-knowledge becomes the bedrock upon which unshakable confidence is built. Think of it as creating a detailed map of your inner landscape. Once you know the terrain, you can navigate any challenge with certainty. The fascinating truth is that most people live their entire lives as strangers to themselves, following paths chosen by others rather than their own authentic desires. They mirror the expectations of family, friends, or society, never stopping to ask what they truly want from life. This lack of self-awareness creates a shaky foundation that crumbles under pressure, leading to doubt, anxiety, and missed opportunities. When you genuinely know who you are, external opinions lose their power to shake your core. You develop what Hill called definiteness of purpose, a clear understanding of your mission that guides every decision you make. Consider this: if you don't know your own values, how can you make decisions that align with your true self? Start by spending 10 minutes each morning in quiet reflection, asking yourself what matters most to you today. Read books like Think and Grow Rich to understand how successful people develop this self-awareness. Practice journaling your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This simple exercise reveals patterns and truths about yourself that you might never notice otherwise. But here's something most people don't realize about building this foundation. The moment you stop seeking approval from others, you begin living your authentic life with unprecedented freedom and confidence. Society has conditioned us to believe that other people's opinions hold the key to our worth, creating invisible chains that limit our potential. Napoleon Hill observed that truly confident individuals have mastered the art of internal validation. They measure their success by their own standards, not by the shifting sands of public opinion. This mental liberation allows them to take risks, pursue dreams, and express themselves authentically without fear of judgment. When you break free from this opinions prison, you discover capabilities you never knew existed. The tragic reality is that countless brilliant minds remain trapped in mediocrity because they're too concerned with what others might think. They dim their light to fit in, suppress their unique ideas to avoid criticism, and sacrifice their dreams on the altar of social acceptance. This people-pleasing mentality creates a false version of yourself that requires constant maintenance and energy to sustain. Hill emphasized that the opinions of others are often projections of their own fears and limitations, not accurate assessments of your abilities. When you understand this truth, criticism loses its sting, and praise loses its addictive power. Start practicing this liberation by making one decision each day based purely on what you want, not what others expect. Invest in companies you believe in, regardless of popular opinion. Successful investors like Warren Buffett built fortunes by thinking independently. Read biographies of innovators who faced ridicule before achieving greatness, like Thomas Edison or Steve Jobs. Share one authentic thought or idea this week, even if it goes against the grain. Your unique perspective might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. What if the very thing you're afraid to express is your greatest gift to the world? Your internal dialogue shapes your reality more powerfully than any external circumstance ever could, creating either a success mindset or a failure pattern. Every thought you think is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, growing into beliefs that eventually manifest as your life experiences. Napoleon Hill discovered that successful people maintain a constant stream of positive, empowering self-talk that reinforces their goals and capabilities. They speak to themselves as they would to their most beloved friend, with kindness, encouragement, and unwavering belief. This isn't mere positive thinking, it's strategic mental programming that rewires your brain for achievement and confidence. The devastating truth is that most people are their own worst critics, running a 24/7 negative commentary that sabotages their potential before they even begin. They tell themselves they're not smart enough, talented enough, or worthy enough to achieve their dreams, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of limitation. This negative self-talk becomes so automatic that they don't even realize they're doing it, like background music that influences their mood without conscious awareness. Hill understood that the subconscious mind accepts whatever you tell it most frequently and with the greatest emotion, whether positive or negative. When you fill your mind with defeat, you program yourself for failure before you even step into the arena. Transform your internal dialogue by catching negative thoughts and immediately replacing them with empowering alternatives. Instead of, "I can't do this," say, "I'm learning how to do this." Create a daily affirmation practice using Hill's techniques, speaking your goals as if they're already achieved, with emotion and conviction. Listen to audiobooks on personal development during your commute, letting positive messages flood your subconscious mind throughout the day. Practice the best friend test. Ask yourself if you would speak to your best friend the way you speak to yourself. Here's a secret that most self-help gurus won't tell you about the real power of words. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward despite fear, transforming anxiety into rocket fuel for achievement. Every person who has ever accomplished something meaningful has felt the same butterflies, doubts, and uncertainties that you feel right now. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck isn't the presence or absence of fear, it's their response to that fear. Napoleon Hill observed that successful individuals use fear as information, not as a stop sign, asking themselves what this emotion is trying to teach them, rather than allowing it to paralyze their progress. When you reframe fear as excitement and take action anyway, you build what Hill called applied faith, confidence earned through experience. The cruel irony is that the very experiences we fear most often become the foundations of our greatest strengths and most cherished memories. People spend years avoiding uncomfortable conversations, challenging opportunities, and growth experiences, believing they're protecting themselves from pain. Instead, they're robbing themselves of the confidence that only comes from facing difficulties and discovering their own resilience. Hill emphasized that every act of courage, no matter how small, deposits confidence into your mental bank account. The businessman who makes that difficult phone call, the artist who shares their work publicly, the individual who speaks their truth, they all understand that confidence is built through action, not contemplation. Start small by taking one action today that scares you slightly. Perhaps it's making a phone call you've been avoiding or expressing an opinion in a meeting. Study successful entrepreneurs like Sarah Blakely, who built Spanx by taking countless actions despite her fears and rejections. Practice the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. Count down from 5, and then immediately take action before your brain can talk you out of it. Join a public speaking group like Toastmasters to systematically build confidence through controlled exposure to fear. But there's one type of action that multiplies your confidence faster than any other. The people, places, and information you surround yourself with either elevate your confidence or erode it, creating an invisible force field that shapes your self-perception and possibilities. Napoleon Hill discovered that successful individuals are extremely selective about their environment, understanding that confidence is contagious, and so is doubt. They consciously choose to spend time with people who believe in their potential, work in spaces that inspire growth, and consume content that expands their thinking rather than contracts it. This isn't about being elitist or avoiding all challenges. It's about strategically designing an ecosystem that supports your highest aspirations. When your environment consistently reflects your potential back to you, confidence becomes your natural state rather than something you have to manufacture. The tragic mistake most people make is underestimating how profoundly their environment shapes their self-image and capabilities. They tolerate negative relationships that drain their energy, work in uninspiring spaces that dampen their creativity, and consume media that fills their minds with fear and limitation. This toxic environment slowly erodes their confidence like water wearing away stone. So gradually they don't notice until their dreams feel impossible, and their potential seems like a distant memory. Hill warned that the human mind is like a garden. Whatever seeds you plant through your environmental choices will grow, whether you want them to or not. Negative influences don't announce themselves. They simply whisper doubts until you believe them as truth. Audit your current environment by listing the 5 people you spend the most time with and honestly assessing whether they inspire or drain you. Create a physical space in your home dedicated to growth, perhaps a reading corner with motivational books or a vision board displaying your goals. Join masterminds or professional groups where ambitious people gather to share ideas and support each other's success. Listen to podcasts and read books by people who've achieved what you want to achieve, letting their mindset influence yours daily. Transform your environment and watch how quickly your confidence transforms with it. Now you have the complete blueprint that Napoleon Hill discovered through decades of studying the most successful people in history. The same principles that built empires, created fortunes, and transformed ordinary individuals into extraordinary leaders. But here's the truth. Knowledge without action is just entertainment, and the person you could become is waiting for you to stop making excuses and start making moves. Every single day you delay implementing these confidence-building strategies is another day you're robbing yourself of the life you deserve. This channel exists to give you the tools, strategies, and mindset shifts that separate the dreamers from the achievers, the wishers from the winners. The question isn't whether you have what it takes. The question is whether you're brave enough to discover just how powerful you really are. Are you going to let another year pass, living as a shadow of your potential? Or are you finally ready to step into the confident, unstoppable version of yourself that's been waiting to emerge? The choice is yours, but choose quickly. Your future self is counting on the decision you make right now. Subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because your transformation has only just begun, and the advanced strategies coming next will take your confidence to levels you never thought possible. Your journey to unshakable confidence starts with that subscribe button. Don't let fear win again.